Good morning, everybody. All right, fantastic. Thank you. My name is Ryan Hamilton. I'll be hosting you this morning. Great to have you all here. And apologies, we have to be in this red light, red light district, red light environment where we will go wear masks and be separated, and it's weird and a bit foreign. So I'm going to try and work through that as best we can today. A little bit implement these things called rules. And under submissions to the Chamber of Commerce and WIT and their policies, etc. So I'll do my best to explain it to you. So they basically said, I think while you're sitting, that everyone to wear your mask and I think that's the thing we may all be able to breathe a bit better. But I do at some point want you guys to interact a little bit. But what you can do is turn to a neighbour and you can talk to them, but you've still got to remain safe and have your mask on. But bear with me, well, this will only be an hour and you'll get a lot more out of it than if you just do it as an isolated thing at the bucket as boring. Hands up if you've been here before. I recognise it, Maureen. A few of you. There's a few first time. So Inspire is sponsored by Link. I'm going to get Ruben to say a few words shortly, and obviously hosted by the Chamber. It's something I started 15 years ago as some of you might be familiar with BNI or a club networking group. I want to do something a little different. So I meet once a month and have a guest speaker. So during this year, we've got another 10 or so meetings, first Wednesday of every month normally. And so I think we have to make an exception coming up. So the date, anyway, normally first Wednesday of the month, 10 meetings or so a year. Lots of really exciting guest speakers. It's really short, sharp, interactive. You network, expose your business to new people, and hopefully learn something, take things away. Without any further ado, there's half of your face. Do you want to say a few words? Sure. And we'll get underway. My name is Ruben. I used to say this for another while a year, so very excited. Good. You say I'm viral year. It's viral year. A viral year. Very good. Okay. And Jenny from the Chamber was just saying at the end of the event today, it's really counterintuitive. You're welcome to talk, but you've got to do it outside of the building. So apologies in advance for all that social stuff. That's just makes things a little bit awkward. I'm trying this to work through. So I'm going to be really fast today. I'm going to be moving pretty. My intention for you today is to take something away that you can actually use and apply in your life. So it's a principle. It's around goal setting. It's around time management. It's about articulating some of the things that you've got in yourself, in your mind, but sometimes we don't articulate them very well. And literally, there's sort of a template in front of you that we'll use today in paper, but you can take it away, you can massage it, make it your own, and you can take it up. But really what I'll be doing is looking for engagement, interaction from you guys so that you'll get the best out of it. So it is one of those things where you don't have to sit here and talk, but you'll get a lot out of it if you just go hard with me. Is that fair? So those who don't know, my name is Ryan Hamilton. I'm a Hamilton City Councillor, so I'm one of those publicly elected people who works next door. Also own a couple of small businesses. So very much still in the commercial environment. Very much love the hustle, entrepreneurship, and that sort of stuff. And also serve as chair on the Hamilton Christian Night Shelter for Tifani Korowa, which is one of another way I like to contribute to the community. So been doing this about 15 years. Really excited to teach and share. A lot of what I'm going to go today is Tony Robbins based. I'm a big fan of Tony Robbins, a big fanboy of this. So he's a peak strategist, coach. He's been doing something like this 42 years, I think now. So really cool principles, really, really cool. But what I'm going to ask you to do is quickly go around the room and just tell me your name, your business, and what you're hoping to get out of today. If you could, I'll start with you, Karen.
And business,
Okay, my goal is to get at least 2 people today that have got a mask on.
Morning, everybody. I'm manager of Success Group, recruitment, and I enjoy the incline, put that really good. For mornings, keep you wide awake. I like to come along, open the line, and walk around somewhere.
And you've left it wide open for you, but always something we're going to deliver for you. Here in front, Vicky.
Okay. My name is Vicky Campbell. I am barrister at Sullivan. I work, my only area of specialty in law is employment. And I've been in practice since the first of August last year. And just slowly developing a new business. And it's pretty exciting. I'm just going to get to meet people, put myself out there and work with something.
Fantastic. I'm going to take two of those things. All right, Maureen.
My name is Marquise. I run Sequence. So it gives me a bit of it's been a very challenging couple of years. And there's obviously still some challenges coming. This week, is thinking how it's been changing there. It's huge trying to manage every all those different parts. But we've also got some really exciting new things happening. Neighbours and so I read the brief and I'm not a lawyer this time.
You may both.
It's tricked me enough because I'm working to read something new.
Awesome.
You know, there's also one there, yeah, so no.
Thank you for that. Mel.
Yeah, good morning, board. I'm Malcolm. I'm from TED, the Trustee Advisor Network. And so I've been mentoring, coaching, advising business for over 10 years. So it's really about building the ideal business. I love it with passion, so it's about bringing their passion up, making it successful. So I came up here this morning, hey, you do this. And yeah, I wanted to meet some people and you have know that you're the goal setting vision that you have.
Sure. Fantastic. Thanks, Mel. Is it short?
Yeah. Yes, I'm Sean. I'm from Chunk Associates. And yes, yeah, I'm aware of something.
Tracy.
Oh, hey guys. So I'm Tracy. I am the new food leader. I changed industry and jumped into business ownership last year. So I came along today to learn from experts, basically, expand my knowledge.
Okay. So I'm going to start missing names. So it's at the edge of I'm trying my age now.
So I'm a commercial broker from the local and I come on to see what does.
Cool. This isn't all that they do, by the way. So don't judge them based on my performance. Yes.
I'm Anna. I'm a owner of the Councillor. I'm a mum and I'm also a so I'm covering lots of times at the time. I'm going to come here today to think about focus and prioritising planning for the year. This is so much going on in my mind, trying to determine my prioritise this, but focus
Yeah. Clarity is power. Thank you.
Yes, I'm Wayne. I'm an insurance broker. Launched my own business about 8 months ago. I was getting in code. And 8 months ago, now to London last. So I work on contract with a company broker here at Auckland and do commercial and domestic for 5 years.
Thanks, Wayne. What are you hoping to do this morning?
Oh, really, it's just about networking, really. And just catching up with people. I sit in an office on my own for the people percentage of the day. So it's great getting out and just fixing it, mainly with those. And there's always gigs and some you learn and not you take it.
Yeah, fantastic. Ruben.
There's always things
Awesome. It's so like for Ruben, for those that's quite a few new businesses, one thing that I was always told to start with it, know your exit plan. So one thing that could be quite good is having a consult with Ruben, one of the team, working out how much your business would be worth now, or what it would be worth to get to, what you need to do to get to a certain level, should you want to exit in 5 to 10 years. And then when you start to build those problems, the practice to your business, and you need to do reviews in 12, 24 months. And there might be key things in your business that you can focus on and will drive a multiple where should you go to market. So it's just something to think about. So when you start this, you don't think about it, but it could save you a lot of hard time when people sell under pressure. Thanks.
So I will translate it to Frankfurt on my Frankfurt. I'm on the side of my business there.
Fantastic, welcome. Thank you.
My name is Morgan. I'm also from Associates and here. From here today, sort of get the ball rolling on what my goals are for the year.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, my name is Amit. I'm from Shanghai Associates again.
Yeah.
The news member here, news member, so I'm just here to take connections. And I like the idea of culture because I keep listening money.
Keep receiving them.
Yeah.
Because you achieved them or because you got bored of them? Did you achieve them before you reset them?
Yeah, no, I want to retire at 50, and it looks like I'm not gonna make it. So.
See what we can do. You might have a conversation with Ruben as well. Hands up all the accountants in the room, just for fun. It's weird sometimes, like, different events attract different people. You're beautiful people, but it's just like,
I'm Heidi and I'm from a charity called True Hopes, Charitable Children's Trust. Seriously, other children and their parents and increasingly support their parents as well. For me, being here is all about networking and those now charity to control the people, but also strategic policy team for a year. Funding is also major for us and one of my key roles. So in that we're some policy team.
fantastic. Well, thanks everyone for sitting on.
Hi everyone, Lori Matt, I'm Julie from the Waikato Chamber of Commerce. I'm the last registration. The file it's actually
Cool. Well, Jeff. All right, so very quickly, we've got networking, meet people, walk away with something new, goals, someone's trying to support the chamber, focus, clarity, priorities, business support, time management. So I'm pretty confident we'll be able to cover all those things off. So we're going to move quite quickly now. So my goal is to have you out of here by 8 o'clock. Like I say, you're welcome to stay and chat outside afterwards. So that'll be the time frame. So the first thing I want to talk about today is categories. So in our life, we've all got these areas, and we all define it differently, and there's no right or wrong way to do this. And I've changed my categories several times. I've been doing this since I've about 6-7 years, and then you change it sometimes each year. You might reset it. Well, what are some categories if we were to break your life down into certain areas? What might be a category that you might have a set of goals around? Just shout out, and I'll just write these things down. Health and well-being. Okay, thank you. Something else? Finance. Big one. Yeah.
Family.
Family.
like balance.
So I'll just say I'll put down career, because we'll talk about balance as part of this overall. Freedom.
Travel and adventure.
Cool. Anything else? We could call that maybe under freedom, or just, this is just me rushing to categorize, and you can have it as your own label, that. Purpose? What I see. So, maybe. Might put this as a subset, because this is mainly it's going to hopefully be sort of sit under these different categories, if that's all right. Relationships, a good one. So what did you say?
Alright, you say spiritual.
No, we'll put that spiritual, so that could be, for some people might have religion, faith, whatever, so yeah. It's not all, so one of those. We've got pretty good range there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you to just quickly on the back of your shirt, you put it on the front. But write down some that are true for you, and you probably, I suggest maybe no more than 7, but probably no less than 4. One thing that I do, and this is super geeky, in government, we always talk about 4 well-beings. We like government, 4 well-beings, and we've got this is right as an example. We talk about 4 well-beings: environmental, economic, social, and cultural. And I was doing this a couple of years ago, and I started to, I had sort of versions of these, and then I thought actually I could make this relate to me, and I don't have all these different paradigms in my life. So what I did was my environmental would be this is my environment. So that's things that fit under there for me were like things like health and exercise, spiritual, all those sorts of things. And the economic for me was anything related to money. So it could be, retirement planning, career stuff, business focus, anything like that. Social was anything, social, I had communities, so it's a community, so social and community. So all my social things like I work with at night shelter, inspire community events, things that I do at the council that are community related, social things that I want to do, cultural is my culture. So it's my family, so I have my wife, my 3 children, anything that I want to do or achieve with them or energy towards them or whatever. My family, my wider family, that sort of thing. So that was, so originally I had 7 and then I chopped the chains and now I'm sitting around 4. They're quite broad, but that sort of, it works for me. But I just share that as an example. But have a think about what will work for you. I'll give you a couple of minutes and come back and we'll do some more work. So just give you say 2 minutes. Just going to play some cool music. Just one more minute. Just so you take it up. Here I am. Feel the thunder, lightning and the thunder. There we go. We've got a few. Who's got 3? 4, 5, 6, 7. Cool, that's just an answer 5 or 6. So now what I want you to do is if you can find where everyone's put on the back, just draw a circle. And then divide the circle evenly by the amount of categories you've got. So obviously you've got 6. Try and divide it into 6. How you've got? So basically, just segment it evenly across. And then write your categories in the section of the pie, if you like. And as you flesh this out, you might actually tweak it, go actually, some of these categories can go into 1, whatever, so that's right. It's just, today's just going to be about getting the principal duty to take it away where you started. We're going to try and drill into one of the categories today and go through the process, and you take this home and apply it to different areas. But you'll know how to do it. Everyone with me so far? Okay, now, you're going to rank yourself. Now, this is completely subjective, right? But if this was a circle, for example, so 0 is in the middle there, and 10 is on the outside. So if in your category, shout out somebody's category. Wealth. Okay, so if when your category wealth, you're going to rank yourself out of 10. So 10 is you are just maxed out. You know, you're about to retire, you don't have to. But you know, whatever your version of awesomeness is at that level of 10, you can give yourself a ranking so long here. So if there was like 10 percentage points along that line, which I haven't done correctly, find out where you are and just mark on that line. And so for each of those categories, quickly go around and give yourself a ranking out of 10. Yeah, I've done that. Thanks. All right. That's overthinking too much. Who's got 6 categories? Tracy, don't tell me what they are, but what were your rankings on the different ones?
Oh, I got 7.
Okay.
5.
Yep.
4.
Yep.
2.
It's like an increasing stuff.
7.
Okay.
And then 6.
By the way, something interesting, we had Senga from Everest Group until about 3 or 4 years ago, and she said, this is just a male-female observation. She said, when men apply for a CDD or they apply for a job and they rank themselves like 9 out of 10, yeah, good, totally can do it. And women are 6 or 7, totally underconfidence themselves. So it'd be interesting to see if the guys are probably like sitting around 6 or 7 or 8. I just thought of it now. It's just interesting psychology. Possibly women are a lot harder on themselves.
My number 2 is cackle.
Okay. All right, so once you've done that, I want you to join them up on the line. So I'm going to segment them off from that. Then we'll get some pretty interesting shapes. So if you think of someone mentioned work-life balance before over here, if you think of this as your wheel, and this is your own view of how you live your own life and sort of sphere of influence, if you like. You can imagine if we had a nice round wheel and you're traveling along under pressure, 10 out of 10, you know, it's fine because the wheels are stable. But as soon as we start applying the pressure in our life with these lumpy sort of wheels that we self-create, you can imagine that literally the wheel's going to fall off. So this is just a really quick snapshot of actually, those are the things, whatever those categories are, they're important to you. And so where you've ended up, it's quite a quick analysis to go, maybe I need to spend a bit more energy and attention in these areas because we often default to our preferences. So mine tend to be really strong in economics, so like always business and money and those sorts of things. And then some of the other stuff, like over the years, my family energy has been really low and really quite bad. So it forces you to invest time and energy to build out that part of your wheel of life. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to basically now. So that's going to set you off. So what I want you to do is put 1 or 2 categories, because we're going to move fast, and you'll be able to apply this to your other categories later on. That's what we're going to refer to your paper. So at the top there, you've got the ultimate vision in that category. So that category you've got, what's another category? Really mention wealth. What's the ultimate vision for you, that wealth? So to be that 10 out of 10, or whatever your category you choose, what's the ultimate vision for that? And it doesn't, don't put a time limit on it. Don't think how long it's going to take to get there. Just what's the ultimate vision that you want in that area? Way I might interrupt you, but did you ever articulate something? Yeah.
Just a certain goal in terms of where I want the business sitting in the next 3 years.
Okay. And can you articulate into a vision? You don't have to give us some personal stuff.
It's really about strategizing now. I've got a good base in my business now. It's been 18 months.
So what does it,
Just taking it to the next level.
what does that look like? You mentioned 3 years. What does it look like?
I'm looking at somewhere between sort of 50 to 60% growth year on.
Okay, and that's financial. And can you see how many people are working for you in that space, or how many staff you've got?
This was it.
Okay. And how do you feel when you're there and you achieve it? Can you describe?
Well, really positive and quite enthused about the progress I've made next month. So I think it's good.
Fantastic. Okay. At the back, from True Colours.
So I have career, so I have been with True Colours for 12 months, so children, and so we're quite comfortable with where I sit. So True Colours, where I've also volunteered for since 2000, I've been full time yet. It's achieved a bit more of a sense of purpose within my career, which is really great. But now it's just about stretching myself towards growth. So just important behaviour and just, yes, goal setting as well.
Okay. Has anyone got like this is what it would look like?
It's just be a bit more.
Nothing wrong with you, don't say anything to articulate, G.
Because that's important. It's the mindset out there.
Yeah, okay. So you can see there's like a perspective mentor kind of vision. I'm just really putting the pressure on the time to do as much as you can. Okay. What we're going to do now is take that into 1 year. So whatever your vision is, where will you be in 12 months' time in respect to that vision? If you had to articulate it, define it, what does it look like by Christmas this year on that journey, if you could define it? Trying to think about the identity you have, the thoughts you have, how you feel. What would someone else say about you? If they were to describe where you're at. Just try and paint the picture. Has anyone got something they want to share? And by the way, by picking you sharing, it just helps everyone else in the room. So, and I also want you to make sure that you've got something real tangible you can take away.
And so we go along and talk about. I'm wanting to be good nations with the democracy. Relationship. And we'll usually.
Right, okay, that's fantastic. And so your category is everything, was it? Okay. So now if I was to go and push it that a little bit more, just ask you a few why. So why do you want to achieve that specifically?
Because this, I think it does. And I just know that you are not the value, but my business is putting the value on the market.
Yep.
And I was hoping more.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so that's really good. So you took that adding value. Why do you want to add value to others?
Because it's not also to see that other businesses grow, and growing, and I don't want to put strong people around who can work with it.
Hang on. Why do you want it to grow? So, not to see what. How will you feel when you see that people live that themselves? Okay. So you see just layering, going back a few whys, and she started to talk about, because it's about adding value to other people, and then she got added joy and she gets joy, and really connect to that. That there, that's the bit that's like, oh, you've got a 3 o'clock meeting, such and such, when you're halfway through the year and it's winter, and it's like, you can bring that up, like, you know, that'll help. It's really important that you define why. Someone else quickly, it's got 12 months, vision. How about Mr. Reset at the back there?
Yeah, one of the final thing that we get really at some stage, but in 12 months' time, I see no change.
Yeah, it's really depressing. Yeah. All right, so you had your ultimate vision was debt free.
No. Ultimate vision was retire.
Okay. Sorry, 12 months was debt free.
No.
Okay, what's your 12-month vision? Where can you be in 12 months?
Ultimate vision. So you said your goal at some stage will be debt free.
Okay. Yep.
In 12 months, change.
Okay, so we need to define that a little bit more.
Yeah.
So on that pathway,
and see what can do to change the 12 months scenario.
so you're gonna spend some time working out what that is.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so you've got an idea. Yeah, you've got to map out what that looks like.
Yes.
Okay, good. That's the first step, isn't it?
Yes.
Why do you want to be debt free?
Probably enjoy my life more than what it's up to.
Want to enjoy life more?
Yeah.
Why? Why? Why?
Look at me now.
Hey?
You look at me now.
Okay. Okay, okay. Yeah, one more. Why? Why do I spend more time with people?
Someone to be that more.
Okay, so you started to tap into the heart of that category. But it's not really about money at all. It's about you want to spend time with your family and loved ones. And you can go deeper on that and ask yourself why. And I'm sure you get a really heartfelt response. But that'll drive you to when you're doing the dumb stuff that money can be dry and material and boring accountants, the work you do sometimes can be quite dry, but if you've got a really heartfelt passion reason, it'll motivate you right through all that, won't it? And you'll stick it through until you smash that goal. Hey, there's some really good stuff in there. You understand where I'm going with that. What identity could you put yourself on that in 12 months' time? You touched on you'd be well respected. What was the word you used? Business owner or people of choice? Because there's like an identity. Just quickly think of some of the identities you might have around it. Debt-free diva is a significant identity because it tells you straight away. And for Tracey, when she's working, it's really easy because she's debt-free divas. That articulates it. What identity could you put around that goal in 12 months? Who do you look like? What would you look like? What are the roles that you assume? What are the attributes that person has to have? So when you see yourself, what is a debt-free person? What are the attributes they have? If you start thinking about that. By the way, the identity that we put on ourselves or with anything is one of the most powerful forces. So the more you can identify with where you want to be, the stronger you'll anchor yourself in that position. Hands up all the non-smoking. Not this if you're smoking, I'm not for a sec. Alan, are you a smoker? If I offered you a cigarette right now, say, oh, hey, mate, do you want to smoke? What would you say? Because you're not a smoker, right? What if you, is anyone just given up smoking, by the way? If it had been 6 days ago, Trustee, and you had a couple of drinks, some cool music playing, smoke a bar with your friends, say, oh, Trustee didn't smoke, what would you say?
I don't smoke anymore.
It's very resolute. If you finished 6 days ago. So you had a really crystal clear decision making.
Yeah, I had tried to quit a few times prior to that, but I had it to be a goal of mine, to do well, I need money to get money into the
Because you had a good why that you're at.
Yeah.
When you say you took a few times to quit, and one of those times that someone asked you, do you want to smoke? What did you say?
How many years?
Because you hadn't yet identified with that, I'm not a smoker. When you're not a smoker, it's no thanks. When you're like coming out of that, I shouldn't really, because you're coming into that new identity. So the more you can identify with being a debt-free diva, the more you don't entertain taking things up on your credit card because that's not who you are. No big deal. Alan, what would be some of the identities you could associate or roles you could associate to your goal in 12 months? Perhaps you could tell us what is the goal. So what are the attributes you need to achieve that?
Basically, I share the my goal is a goal that means to
Ask quickly to have an identity or a role that they thought that they're not quite there, but it would be something that they could aspire to, which would help cement the ambition that you've got before you. Yep.
My goal is to put my
It's powerful work. Very powerful. Okay, so everyone understand what we're trying to achieve there with really getting a really clear why, really articulate it, dig it deep, get to the heart of the matter. That'll help drive the external outcome a lot more. It attributes the roles, the identity. So now, what I'd like you to do is we're going to think of, we're breaking it down from the vision to 12 months to now the first quarter of the year. So say by 31st March, what are 3 things you could do towards that achievement in that category that we've identified? And we'll talk about it a little bit more. It can be just small things. And this could be an additional one. What's one thing you can do towards that? And it could be something like a phone call, research, calling someone, buying a diary, purchasing something. What's one thing you can do today? And 3 things in the next quarter. Sean, how are you getting on?
Oh, yeah.
Have you come up with 3 things?
Probably one.
Yep, do you need some help?
Uh,
Coming up with more things?
yeah.
Okay, what's your category?
So mine's just financial. So my overall main goal is financial.
Okay.
So far, stage.
Have you defined it?
So probably require so what am I?
The challenge with, if I can be a little critical, because Chris will on superpowers, if you've got property moving towards another property in 12 months, it's going to be really hard. So I wonder if you can make something, and it's not that these things can't change, but I just wonder if you could crystallize it a bit better, even if you committed to buying another property, then at least if as you go second down the track, actually that may not be the best thing, at least you're committed. If you're in the property zone, it's sort of like maybe I won't continue it, maybe I will, maybe I'll reset it. What was that seminar I went to? I mean, no, how about go back to your category? If I picked on your, what's your ultimate vision? Why do you want it? 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 They're probably lining up the probablys. So I guess I'll just maybe just have a little think about that. And even if you have to land on something else, but at least it's different.
yeah.
Who else? Who's got 3 things? Warren.
My daughter's in finance as well. So we want to be mortgage free. So first thing today is a little
Tracy's getting excited by it.
All these debt-free goals are just like really getting me hyped up. This is great.
So yeah, we've been down there. So you know, I've got a call with my bank manager this morning, discussing great things for an investment fund. This is not good for us. So that's the first. Second step was to organise how to go. Doesn't make sense for us to continue. it's all.
Awesome. We got 3 really tangible things here. Well done. Okay, someone else. In terms of the 3 to thrive that you see here, these are like fundamentals or principles that will underpin you throughout the year. So for a lot of financial goals here. So for Sean, what's one fundamental you need on this? What do you need in terms of the goal? What's one fundamental that you need? It's go to for this year.
Just staying consistent with saving.
Cool. Yeah, awesome. So savings plan defined, articulated, locked in. Cool. What's something else? It's just fundamental for one of the goals category. Vicky, so you want to go? You're the front row here.
That is like the
Yeah.
my technology. Because I'm funding. And the big thing to me is to be the speaker for the week that I'm doing for the clients. 25% of my business has to be programmed. It's my goal. Because I want to go back to this place and to that voice. I'm not using comparison. So the main things for me doing is to maintain my knowledge. And I hear that class every Monday morning to people into legal cases that come out from the Supreme Court for appeal.
So that's almost the fundamental right there. You've got, isn't it?
Yeah.
Every week.
So that's something I do every Monday morning. Networking is the other thing. And I do, well, I just started because I'm just new at this one. So we've been out in the culture. But keeping it real. So what are the latest cases from the court to the people that are affected as well? And what is the takeaway for the business? So just one really quick point. And then yeah.
Awesome. So you've got some good bonus there already.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so is anyone stuck on anything? This is your opportunity to show up in terms of anything we talked about so far, your category, your year, the attributes, your identity, the things you need to do. Yep. Okay. Sorry. Okay, one thing that could help you here is, are there any people in that house that you aspire to different role models? Could be sporting people, something that you could look to, or is there any sport? Is it also sport you mentioned one time? Oh, you're a you know? Yeah. Is there any athletes that you aspire to or respect? So one thing I haven't touched on so far is, and I've been doing this just this year as well, is if you print this out, make it your own, put some pictures on there. So, or what you've achieved in this category. So just remind you of how far you've come. But what are the pictures of where you want to go? If it's something material, obviously, like swimming pool or travel, you can have lots of pictures really easily. But of people as well that you aspire to mentor. And if you could, if anyone's read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, written about 75, 80 years ago, one of my favourite books of all time. It's not just about money, but the principles he teaches you can apply to anything. One of the things he talks about is invisible councillors. And he had a meeting with, I think, about 8 people, previous presidents, all the people that he inspired, and he'd sit at the board table with them. And you'd imagine them talking to him, getting feedback in their accents, in their tone, in their language, and what they were saying. And it's like, if you were to have 10 minutes with Richie before, what would you talk about? What are the things that you like about Richie's, the fact that he's just at one of probably his leadership, skill, his humility, and a whole bunch of other stuff you take on. But that might also help, even if you can't name it, like, Rich Dad's Reuben. May not be your identity, but if you have to be really cool. Like that. Proximity is power. So they're people you associate with. So even if you've just got pictures of those people in each category that you aspire to, as well as photos, that will move you in that direction because of the qualities, innate qualities of them that will probably draw that out with you as well. Okay, cool. So we're just about at the end. So hopefully there's enough that you can take away and apply to the different categories of your life. Drill it down into actionable steps for the first quarter. And if you achieve them, you can adjust them, add extras in. But you've got your end goal there. And then if you need to reset it, you can adjust it based on achieving or learning. Actually, there's a better way, whatever, but rather than it's too hard. You know what I mean? So just moving forward. And the other key thing that I want to leave with you today is scheduling. So has anyone got a couple of letters in their first quarter that are quite chunky? Like they could take a long time. You have to define how much time you need to put it. You just put it down on paper, which is the first thing you've got to do. Can you share it, for example? Okay, and is that would that be easy to cut off? Okay. Perfect examples. This is really good. Okay, so she needs to recruit. Sorry, this come out for me. You can see it. Recruit a person. What's the first thing you do? Job description. Right job description. I'm just going to break this down into steps. Okay. Let's look at the job description. One. Agency. Or the interviewing, which based on what you just said, yeah, and then recruit agency, and then what? Then you probably have to shortlist a few people. So you still have to interview a little bit. So you might have to do you've got to put a contract. So if we were to put the box set up, was defined to a pretty new thing. So what the right job description, how long would writing a job description take? 60 minutes. And then you've got to write a brief for the recruitment agency. How would that take? Okay. 30 minutes. And then you've got to talk to a recruitment agency or two.
Each conversation is happening.
So 4 hours it would take. Oh, how long do you think just Google 12 steps and be like, half an hour. So you got to have to interview them in the recruitment agency. Yeah. You'll be trusted, you're very friend, and then you feel like I am there. How long will the interview take and how many do you think you'll interview?
shower.
Plus a bit of prep. Hey, it's a good potential guy that might know something about recruitment. You guys can swap cards.
Yeah.
And then contracts, employment agreement. Maybe see one of our legal friends here. Our two out there. And might actually help you articulate some of your cultural values and those things. First, share back up to what you want, what you're doing, why you're doing this stuff. Okay, so we've got an hour and a half, 5.5, 6, 12, 14 hours. And this is your first quarter goal. So could you potentially attribute 2 hours a week? Next week. So if you get 2 hours, say this week, for there's 12 hours a week. So the purpose of this is just bringing it down to bite-sized people in pieces. Because when you have a goal like that, it's a fantastic goal. But sometimes it's like thinking, oh, what can I do now? You've got 3, 20, 16-hour goal, and then it just keeps getting shifted into the next quarter. But if you break it down, well, actually, I can write job description now. And what you find often is you get in the zone, you've got the need to make sure just be like a brief, make sure just print an email out or whoever. You get in the zone actually with a meeting. And sometimes you smash out some of that. I think the key is to just get started. And scheduling is where the magic happens. So you've done all this fantastic work, it sounds good, you've identified some attributes, you've got some goal, you've identified with your why, you're feeling really good, you've just got to schedule it. And is that all right? Anything, any further questions on the scheduling piece? When you lock it in, it becomes magical. And that's when the magic happens. Just one other thing, which is really important, is accountability. So some of you will be high achievers and you're going to do the stuff, no worries. Some of you will be a little bit, you'll leave here and you will forget some of it, which is normal. And then you'll do a couple of things, and then by March, you might have lost a bit of paper. Please don't let that be you. So accountability is really key. So it could be someone in this room that you want to reach out to. I'm sorry, it's hard to do the networking thing a little bit, but you can find a friend. Be careful with your friend selection though for this task. Find someone that's task related to this. For example, if they're at the same position as you do, and you both get to the point of frustration, then you're likely to take each other down as well. Find someone that's going to hold you accountable, hold you up, and not make you drop away. And sometimes you've got to pay for that. Whether it's a consultant or a mentor or something like that, you're paying money, which does two things. It keeps you accountable and it forces you, because you're paying this money, you want to deliver on it. I've got a mate that I train with at least once a week, so I'll try and just stop that 3 times a week. At least once a week with him. And he's 6'4", used to play rugby for England. And so whenever we do anything on the bike or the rower, he destroys them just because he's got long limbs and powerful. But the thing about the accountability is once a week, when that time comes up, 5 out of 6 times, I'll probably be all right on my own, but at 6th time, I'll be like, oh, I don't really want to come today, Sunday afternoon, whatever. But if I know he's coming out, or he's already left home, shit, it's happening. I'm going to it. And you always feel better afterwards. But the other thing is, if I know he's coming out on Saturday or Sunday, then it's Wednesday day, and like, if I don't train today, I'm going to be less fit for when he comes out. I'm going to let him down. He's committing. It's just that power of accountability. And that's one area of my life where it's, it's a good example. I share with you. But the other thing, really quickly, how's everyone going for time? It's 7:58. I said 8 o'clock. We've got 2 minutes. A couple of key things that I want to miss out. The other thing which I heard share about is imagine, and this is all subjective, right? Your wheel, however you score yourself, is purely subjective, it's purely your own values and views, no one's judging it. But if I said to you today, you could double your performance, that's 100% improvement by the end of the year. If someone improves 100%, it's massive, right? Like 100% improvement is huge. And often in anything you're looking for incremental improvement, 5%. You want to improve your bottom line 10%, 15%, that's good, right? Imagine if you could improve you by 100% by Christmas. And how do you do that? It's really simple. So if you've got 6 categories, as an example, and you improve by 1% a month across each category. So 1%, 1%, 1/100. If you improve by 1/100, just by writing it down, you're probably able to improve that. In 6 categories, that's 6% in that month you've improved across those categories. But that compounds. So that 6% the following month includes the previous 6%. And by the end of the year, that's over 100%. Now it's a purely subjective figure, and it doesn't matter if you've got 4 categories or 7 categories, whatever. The point is incremental shifts over time are powerful. I'm talking a lot of accountancy, you guys know compound interest. That's really significant. So I want you to really encourage, when you get overwhelmed, you've got these big goals, break them down and just do the first step, make a phone call or talk to that person that you've been putting off. Just those little things, and 2 or 3 years' time, the transformation. So that's pretty much me. Everyone, I hope that's probably haven't done as much networking as we want today. It's a little bit tricky to make people walk away with something. I hope so, something new. Goals. The chamber. This is only one part of the chamber. It's a pretty good part, though. Yeah. Focus, clarity, priority. I don't know if that's helped. Identify your priorities. We might need to reprioritize business support, time management. Hopefully, all that's in there. There's some degree for you. I'm going to close out and hand over to Don to say a few words. But hey, thanks everyone for coming and participating. Really enjoyed. And we'll be back the first Wednesday of next month. We've got Pizzo from PCB, Vision Complete Reference. Quite a cool story that I've got to share about the business success, their values, and some of the stuff you do. Don.
Yes, thank you very much, Brian. It was always inspirational, and to be honest, this is one of my most favourite of the events we put on. It always gives you a bit of a buzz. The chamber's about connecting. It's also about growing, and this once a month get together does both. And so, thank you very much, Ryan. Thank you very much, Ruben, for sponsoring it, and thank you for everyone for coming out on an early morning in the middle of the red light district. So thanks for coming, and we'll see you again in a month's time.
Yeah, sorry, and I know you just wanted to remind me that I'll put my mask back on. We've got it outside, but yeah, just on the accountability thing. If somebody here where you've got a friend, you've got to set your goals to whatever, just do it. In closing, and I don't recommend this, but it freaking works. In 2014, I set a 90-day challenge. And I put some pretty ambitious goals, and I put it on Facebook. So I was accountable. Put it on Facebook, you're accountable. But that's a really good thing to set up. I have a picture of me in a can of dog food, big can. I said, if I do not achieve these goals, I will be in this can of dog food. And I thought, yeah, that's ambitious. It's cool. I'll do it. 3 or 4 days before the deadline, I nearly I forgot. I tell you what, that accountability is the difference sometimes. So whatever it takes, I'll leave that one with you.